We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM is non-different from Radha Krishna. In the form of Bhagavatam, they appeared, and they are our shelter. Yesterday we were hearing about different avatars. We heard about Vaman last, and today Avatare Shorashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nripan Trih Sapta Kritva Kupito Nih Kshatram Akaron Mahim. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord as Brigupati annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Kshatriyas, they should do under the guidance of Brahmins. Brahmins, they have broad vision, broader vision, and they can give solution for the benefit of all, not only for one party, one side like this. So Kshatriyas, they should work under the guidance of Brahmanas, then they can rule for the benefit of all. But if they deviate and become greedy and political and these things too much, then everything will be degraded. So they lost this connection. So Parashuram Avatar, he had to punish them for the benefit of all. So this is important. Shudra cannot be leader, nor Vaishya, nor Kshatriya. Brahmin, because he has knowledge of Shastra, he has pure vision, he has control over senses, he has clear vision, he can guide. Not that everyone, but now it is Kali Yuga, it is different. Now it is difficult to say. So here, ideally it should be like that. Tatah Saptadasha Jatah Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakreveda Taroshaka Drishtva Pungsholpa Medasa. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Our Gurudev explained the word incarnation, that one should not mistake that Supreme Lord, when he appears in this world, or even his personal associate devotee, they take on any kind of material body like this. Incarna, they enter into meat. It is not like that. And this word incarnation, it is also used for conditioned souls. So our Gurudev used to explain this, that we should understand in what sense it is meant here. We should not think it in wrong sense. So our Gurudev used to use the word avatar or descend. They descend to this world. They don't incarnate. They don't enter into meat. And they are not like conditioned souls. Of course, Sai Maharaj knows this, but he had to use some word. But he explained in all his commentaries and everything in what sense it is meant, so that we have to understand. Vyasadeva. He came. So he divided into Sama, Yajur, Rik, Atharva. He categorized for more easy understanding. But even the word avatar, if you use this word, it is appropriate. It is according to Shastra, this word, avatar. But Mayavadis, you have to be careful. They don't understand this word properly. They are also using, but their conception is that impersonal, formless Brahman takes some material form of Satya Guna and becomes Krishna, Ram, Nrishinga, like this, or Kali, Shiva, or whatever, and their avatar. And when I chant Aham Brahmasmi, Soham, I chant, I meditate, then when I will realize that I am that spirit, I'm non-different from that spirit, and while remaining in this body, but with this realization, I am also avatar. I am as good as Krishna, or like this. I saw one in Mayapur. He was in that, and they are worshipping him like God. Some were saying like Krishna, some were saying he's Mahaprabhu, like this. One famous. So like that. So we should be also careful with the usage of word avatar, so that this wrong understanding is not there. When Krishna appears, he appears in his transcendental eternal form. He is omnipotent, and by his will that is seen by all when he wants, but not all will recognize who he is. Demons, they will fight against him. That does not mean that he is not God. He is God. Demons, they also realize when they are killed by him, in their Atma, they realize the true nature of him, and they start to love him. That is why they are liberated. So also Diti is not a stone. That is Archa Avatar, descent of Krishna in such a form for a special function, special purpose. So avatar, descent, or incarnation, whatever you use, but you have to know the meaning of appearance of Supreme Lord in this world and of his devotee also. They are also not material. Nara Devatvam Apanna Sura Karya Chikirshaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Ram in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist King Ravan, who was on the other side of the sea in Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka. Ekona Vingshatime Vrishnishu Prapya Janmani Ramakrishna iti bhuvo Bhagavan Aharat Bharam. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, that is the Yadu dynasty, and by so doing, he removed the burden of the world. Tatah kalau sampravrite samohaya sura dvisham buddho namnanjana sutta kikateshu bhavishyati. Then, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful taste. Here also we have to understand that Avatar Buddha means avatar of Krishna, who is Buddha. He appeared in Goya, and the names of his parents are given, and the place and time. That is Avatar Buddha, our object of worship, in 10 avatars. And when Akrura saw Krishna inside the water of Jamuna, that time also when he offered praise, he said Namo Buddhaya, because Krishna is Buddha, non-different. But this modern Buddha, Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, is different person. In India, 99% people, they think this is one and the same, that Siddhartha Gautam Buddha is the same as the Buddha mentioned in Shastra, but it is wrong. It is proved that they are different persons. At different times they appeared, at different parents' name, and their teaching also was different. He appeared in Nepal, that Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, son of Maya. He was a prince. And he came to meditate here in Goya, in the birthplace of, or appearance place of, Avatar Buddha. So they are not same persons, although mostly they misunderstand. The Avatar Buddha, he is the Adi Buddha, original Buddha, beginner. He appeared because people were misusing Vedic sacrifices to commit violence to animals. They misused those sacrifices, and this was going on. So Lord Buddha had to appear to stop them from that tendency, and they said, no, it is in the Vedas. Then Buddha said, no, you don't follow Vedas, you follow what I say. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Non-violence is the ultimate, highest dharma, duty or religion or this. So you have to practice this. So then they did that, and by that they could advance from wrong that violence. That is one step. One step. Then Shankaracharya came and again established Vedas and like this. So he came for this purpose. But Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, he was a prince and very opulence and merit and everything. And they were hiding from him the other aspects of reality of this life. So one time in north gate of that city, he saw one man dying and suffering so much. In west side, he saw one man in old age suffering so much. In north side, he saw one man diseased, so much suffering. So maybe sides are different, as I said now, because I don't remember, but the purpose is he saw this type of suffering at different gates of the city, and he thought, why I did not see this before? So in life, suffering is also there. Why did they hide this from me? So then he went to the eastern side. For this one, I'm sure that it was eastern. And he saw one brahmachari. He was practicing celibacy. He was meditating, studying Veda, and he emitted some peace. He was peaceful. So Siddhartha Gautam then thought, this is the proper way of living. And I have to know why this suffering is there, and also how one can be released from this suffering. So he renounced his full opulence and everything in search for this. So we have to take this teaching, one cannot be satisfied in sense enjoyment, these pleasures of this world, like ignoring other facts also. This suffering is also inevitable. How you can freely enjoy, because they try to prevent him from knowing these things. They try to hide so that he will fully be engrossed in enjoyment. But he understood, no, this is also, so I have to know how, why is this, and how one can be rescued. So he was doing many practices, and finally he understood by meditation that material desires are the cause of suffering. And whole this material life is suffering. And it is due to these material desires. So to fulfill these material desires will produce, to have them and to fulfill them will produce suffering. And again, birth and rebirth and all these things. So one has to give up all these material desires and false ego, false attachments, that I am this. He has to release himself from all this. He practiced severe renunciation, and he realized some way how this can be achieved. So they can come up to certain point of liberation, up to Biraja river, where there is no creation, no individual material egos. It is in tranquility, and no Rajoguna, is there no creation. So there are no waves of sufferings. In this world, when you have false ego and desires and all this, there are waves of sufferings. But if you give up all these material desires and this material ego, then in that platform, you will not feel the waves of suffering. So for them, that is no suffering. But for those who have higher realization, as Shankaracharya came to give, there is a spirit, eternal spirit. For Buddhists, it does not exist. For them, only constantly changing matter exists. So if you are attached, then you will suffer. So you have to detach yourself, but there is no such an eternal reality. But Shankaracharya gave that Brahman that is blissful. So in Brahman, there is actually no suffering. This is also suffering, but no waves of suffering. But they don't understand. They think that is highest. Then Shankaracharya, then Vaishnavacharyas, they gave Seva, that is ultimate transcendental bliss, which can only fulfill the jiva. So this name Buddha means awakened. In during Kartik, in that verse, when we are hearing the lila, in the second lila, this word is there mentioned that Krishna wakes up, Bodha something. So Buddha means one who is awakened from ignorance or from wrong perception, because it is true, as long as you have so many desires, that is clouding your vision. You cannot see the actual picture as it is. The more you purify your mind from lust and these things, your vision will be clear. Otherwise it will be dualistic and this thing. Through the lens of your desires and false ego, you will perceive things, but that is not reality. You cannot see things as they are. So they are trying to purify their consciousness by different practices, and they can see more clearly than those who are total materialists. Of course, those who are seeing through the eyes of Shastra And by realizing Brahman, they can see more than them. And Vaishnavas, they see complete reality. So they are two different persons. Buddha is like a title, not the name. Like Guru, you have this Guru, he has that name, but his Guru means teacher. And there is another person who is also Guru. I'm saying Gurudev to my Guru, and someone else is saying Gurudev to his Guru. So like that title or this, also you have Buddha, and there are many Buddhas, not only one, there are so many, if you go more precise. Adi is this avatar, then there are many, but more famous became this one, Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, and he is not avatar Buddha. That we have to understand, this is different. And in Vedanta Sutra, you will find Vyasadeva, he wrote Vedanta Sutra 5,000 years ago, approximately. There he already refuted what Siddhartha Gautama Buddha will speak in the future. So the modern scholars and the Buddhists, they cannot understand how this is. So they are not accepting that Vedas were written before. They are telling, after Siddhartha Gautama Buddha was preaching all over India and all became Buddhists, then those who were Brahmins, they wrote Vedas at that time, Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra and like this. Otherwise, how it is possible that he's refuting their philosophy before? They cannot understand this. Bhagavan is omnipotent. He knows future and everything he knows. And there are different states of consciousness, and the perception of that state of consciousness he knows. So he can tell this is not precise vision. They cannot understand how Vyasadeva wrote that in future Kalki will come. How this is possible? Because he can see. In their transcendental vision, they know everything. They can see in Samadhi. So because they have no such vision, they think Vedas or Upanishads were written later to fight against Buddhists. And Shankaracharya used those things to fight against Buddha, but it is not. Vyasadeva already wrote that time. And Baladev Vidyabhushan, he commented those verses in Vedanta Sutra, refuting the 4 types of Buddhist schools who came after Siddhartha Gautama: Madhyamikas, Yogachara, Sutranikas, and Vaibhasikas something. I know because I was speaking with one Buddhist. I asked him, and he said, yes, these are the schools, and there is some mix also like this. So Baladev Vidyabhushan wrote about this. And clearly he refuted by reasoning, because they are not accepting Shastra as evidence, only accepting reasoning. So by reasoning he refuted Vyasadeva and Baladev Vidyabhushan there. So this we have to know. And I think he Sai Maharaj also in one commentary, maybe not in this one, but maybe in the second one, in the second canto, he also said that they are not the same persons. But because we are not reading carefully, then we mistake one for another. But from both we can get some teaching that violence is not good. And Material desires are not good. They will produce suffering. Ataso yuga sandhyayam dasyu prayeshu rajasu janita vishnu yashaso namna kalkir jagatpati. You see. Thereafter, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. It is actually now already, but that will be more extreme. And now already they are this. The rulers of the earth are plunderers, nothing else, and cheaters and harming for the sake of their selfish interests. Avatara hya sankyeya hareh sattva nider dvija yatha vidasina kulyah sarasah syuh sahasrashah. O Brahmanas, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like rivulets flowing from inexhaustible sources of water. So only some are mentioned in Shastra. They are not all. They are unlimited. Unlimited avatars, unlimited pastimes, unlimited person associates, unlimited Tatashta Shakti Jivas, unlimited material universes. Everything is unlimited. Rishayo Manavo Deva, Manu Putra Mahaujasa, Kalach Sarve Harer Eva, Sapra Japatayah Smrita. All the rishis, Manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu, who are especially powerful, are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. Ete Changsha Kalach Punksha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Byakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuga Yuga. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. We were hearing about explanation of this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is proved that Nandanandan Shri Krishna is the avatari from whom all other avatars are emanating. There it was proved by all evidences from Shastra and by this, how this verse is grammatically composed and all this. But they are one person, but according to rasa, Krishna is exhibiting most rasa and all those 64 qualities which are not found in others. Krishna has 4 special qualities: Venu Madhurja, Lila Madhurja, then Prema Madhurja, and Lila Madhurja, Venu, Lila, Rupa Madhurja. Sweetness is there in Krishna, so he is original from whom others are coming. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told we should worship Nandanandan Krishna. All rasas are possible with him. Janma guhyam bhagavato ya etat praeto nara sayam pratar grinan bhaktya dukha gramad vimuchyate. You will also find in the Darbhas of Jiva Goswami, he elaborately explained this verse, and if someone wants to know in more detail, then he has to see Jiva Goswami's explanation also. Generally, Gauriyas, we are accepting, but from other sampradayas they are giving different arguments. So if someone comes in some challenge by others, then he can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita the explanation of this verse, or by Jiva Goswami and also Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu about different qualities present in Narayan and other avatars and Krishna like this. Whoever carefully recites the mysterious appearances of the Lord with devotion in the morning and in the evening gets relief from all miseries of life. So Harikatha we have to hear 2 times, morning and evening, like in the mat. Etat rupam bhagavato hyarupasya chit atmana maya gunair virachitam mahadadibhir atmani. The conception of the Virat universal form of the Lord as appearing in the material world is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of the Lord's having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. It is for the sake of meditation, for some step of advancement for beginners, as we will see when Parikshit Maharaj will start to hear Harikatha from Shukadev Goswami. Then Shukadev Goswami will start from this point. That is the beginning. To see Supreme Lord in this material nature and how everything is, what is representing this like this. So to start thinking of Supreme Lord, then gradually one can get more purified realization, conception. Also what Arjuna saw in battlefield, that universal form, and Krishna gave him eyes to see that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that that is not prema netra, it is not eyes of pure devotion. It is like some subtle eyes to see more subtle, but that is not purified totally, that pure devotion. By pure devotion, one can see Bhagavan in his transcendental eternal form. Yatha nabhasi meghaugho renurva partivo nile evam drashtari drishyatvam aropitam abudhibhi. Clouds and dust are carried by the air, but less intelligent persons say that the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. Similarly, they also implant material bodily conceptions on the spirit self. Because eyes are such. Also in that Britasura's case, Britasura said, "You kill me." Really he wanted he should kill him because that will liberate him and he can go to Supreme Lord. But Indra thought, why he's telling I should kill him? No one wants to die. Surely he must have something behind some trick is there. He will retaliate. If I will throw that weapon, he will take it and retaliate. And so many reasons he gave, and Vritasura also replying. But Indra was all the time thinking according to his own conception. Oh, he's speaking so nice, so he's greater devotee than me. Surely Krishna will give him that kingdom of heaven and all this. And Vritasura said, no, he will not give me, because I'm his devotee, pure devotee. Intentionally, he does not give. He will give to you. You don't worry, you kill me. But Indra could not understand his thinking. All the time he was thinking his own thinking. So it is explained in Shastra, but I forgot now from where, that those who have lust, they will see everyone in this world, they have lust, and all are after lust. Even sadhus, everyone, they're all after lust, because he's seeing through his own eyes. And someone who wants money, he will see everyone in this world, they are only after money. Everyone, even sadhus, those who are fully renounced, all, they are also, because they cannot see otherwise. They will judge according to their vision. But devotee, dhira, one who has no desires, he sees actual reality that all are serving Krishna, directly or indirectly. All are serving Krishna. So we have to purify our consciousness to get that vision. Otherwise we will misunderstand. Also, before I forgot to tell, outwardly we see the severe austerity and renunciation of Siddhartha Gautama Buddha as same as Raghunath Das Goswami was renounced, like eating very little and this. But Gurudev explained that Siddhartha Gautama's renunciation is out of trying to get release from these material desires and to attain their conception of liberation. So that is why that detachment, to be released from that suffering. But in Raghunath Das Goswami, it is not because of that. Outward appearance may look the same, but Raghunath Das Goswami is so much engaged in the service of Krishna and Radharani, and is tasting that transcendental nectar bliss, that quite naturally he has no any desires of this world and is living fully renounced, so that he can engage himself without any deviation for the service of Radha Krishna all the time. And it is natural, and you cannot sway him from that. You cannot move him from that position. To Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, the three forms, or in the form of ladies, they came to attract him. Trishna, I forgot, it is there. Gurudev wrote in his biography. Attachment, desire, and something. So they means those desires which are in our heart personified. Like we are hearing different demons, they are representing certain anarthas. They are outside as demons, but they are also inside us as demons. So they came to test him. They wanted to attract him, but he tolerated. He did not succumb to their attraction. So after that, when he was able to desist or able to renounce them, then he became Buddha, means awakened. Then he understood everything. According to his level, he understood about why suffering and all these things. Then he was known as Buddha, the awakened one, because now he can see above the blurred vision of desires. You are not seeing clearly, but he can see clearly beyond those. Those who are under the influence of desires, they are not able to see like he is seeing. So he could do this with his determination, but you will see in the case of Haridas Thakur, also prostitute came to attract him, even Maya came, but they could not do anything because he already saw Krishna and he's getting taste from serving Krishna, so there is no any problem for him. He cannot be attracted. And Raghunath Das Goswami also cannot, it is impossible. It is like if you are thirsty and on one side you have glass, on one side you have sand. So those who have experienced drinking sand, they will understand that will not quench thirst. And those who have experienced, same person who have experienced water, they will know it will quench your thirst. So you will never be able to convince them that they should drink sand. It is impossible. By any amount of persuasion or whatever you want to do, they will not. Like that, Haridas Thakur was not disturbed at all, nothing. Because he has higher taste. Buddha only realized if you drink sand, you will have to suffer. So better not to drink sand. So he gave up drinking sand and became peaceful of that suffering of drinking sand. But Raghunath Das Goswami, Haridas Thakur and Ambarish Maharaj like this, they got to drink the water. So how you will convince them they should drink sand? Impossible. And it is very natural. They are not feeling any, the Buddhists, yogis and jnanis, when they are trying to renounce, they're always, there is some fear that again they will be attracted. They always have to be alert and with this determination and everything. But for devotees to be renounced, it is very easy, natural, no problem, no tension, because they have better thing practically. It is not enough only to know and believe and speak about that thing, then that will not work. But if actually you experience, then you can be naturally renounced. But only by speaking or believing, it is not enough. So I may have knowledge, but that does not make me renounced. I have to experience the transcendental bliss. Ata, so their vision is wrong. They think the cloud means the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. We perceive like that. But those who have real vision, they know the sky is not cloudy. Cloud is from our side. Sky is clear. And air also is clear, only carrying that dirt. So similarly, they implant material bodily conception of the spirit self. They are unable to see the spirit self because of their material vision. So like that, we are not able to perceive others or this world like this, as long as we have this, our own conceptions. Atah param yat avyaktam avyuda guna brimhitam adrishta shruta vastutvat sajivo yat punar bhava. Beyond this gross conception of form is another subtle conception of form which is without formal shape and is unseen, unheard, and unmanifest. The living being has his form beyond this subtlety, otherwise he could not have repeated births. Yes, here I will read commentary. As the gross cosmic manifestation is conceived as the gigantic body of the Lord, so also there is the conception of his subtle form, which is simply realized without being seen, heard, or manifested. This is higher planetary systems, they are more subtle. But in fact, all these gross or subtle conceptions of the body are in relation with the living beings. The living being has his spiritual form beyond this gross material or subtle psychic existence. The gross body and psychic functions cease to act as soon as the living being leaves the visible gross body. In fact, we say that the living being has gone away because he is unseen and unheard. Even when the gross body is not acting, when the living being is in sound sleep, we know that he is within the body by his breathing. So the living being's passing away from the body does not mean that there is no existence of the living soul. It is there, otherwise how can he repeat his births again and again? The conclusion is that the Lord is eternally existent in his transcendental form, which is neither gross nor subtle like that of the living being. His body is never to be compared to the gross and subtle bodies of the living being. All such conceptions of God's body are imaginary. The living being has his eternal spiritual form, which is conditioned only by his material contamination. There is a soul, individual soul. It will transmigrate from one body to another, as long as bound. Same person is incarnating and reincarnating, and it's going on. But Buddhists, because they don't believe in any eternal entity, they are, although they speak about reincarnation, but their conception is different. They are saying of there is a new birth, like one thing, well, like one matter, cloud transformed into rain, and rain transformed into this, and like this transformation of some energy. So for them, it is this material energy is transformed and again shaped and like this. So for them, this is not actually called rebirth of some same entity, but new birth. So in that sense, they are accepting continuity of existence and of the reactions of previous actions and like this, that is continuing, but it is not like Vedic soul is incarnating, reincarnating, but for them, new birth is happening, new birth of that thing. So that also I could not know before. When 20 years back, I had I read something about Buddhism. So when I saw reincarnation, then I thought in this conception, because already before I knew there is a soul like this, but then later I came to know they are not thinking like this, using same word, reincarnation and cycle of births and deaths, and this, using same words, but conception is totally different. Like for devotees, avatar is one thing. For Mayavadis, avatar is another thing. So we have to understand what is meant by some. Ya treme sat asat rupe pratisiddhe swasamvida avidyayatmani krite iti tad brahma darshanam. Whenever a person experiences by self-realization that both the gross and subtle bodies have nothing to do with the pure self, at that time he sees himself as well as the Lord, because we are not existing independent of him. We are his potency. We have eternal relation with him. So when we see our real self, also we see our relation with him. Beyond these gross and subtle bodies, our real self is eternal. Our relation with Radha Krishna is eternal. Their eternal devotion is eternal. All is eternal. That is in pure vision. When we deviate from that, wanting to enjoy this Maya, then we lose that vision and we have to undergo suffering. But if we regain that vision and serve Supreme Lord, then we are free from all sufferings and we can get actual fulfillment, real happiness, transcendental real happiness. So tomorrow we'll hear further.